Desperate last step, Meghan Markle is still trying to act and deceive the public to remove the stigma of fake babies. Hello everyone, welcome to the Princess Diana News channel. As my husband always says, if you try to tear other people down, you will get nowhere in life. God's wheels grind very slowly, but they grind well. I'm so happy to see you, and a royal commentator is now claiming Meghan is still acting. He is still trying to deceive people. So he explains that Meghan flew to the Invictus Games in Germany, but make no mistake, she would have no choice if the truth came out. He tries to save whatever future he has, a future without darkness. The world knows that their husband and wife have ended and will not live together for several months. It's no secret that Netflix is filming the event as part of a multi-million-dollar deal. The streaming giant will make it clear to them that anything other than a united front will result in breach of contract, lawsuits, and retaliation. But more importantly, this is the most damaging publicity ever given to Meghan Markle. The actress is said to be worried that the matter will become public, which could cause major problems for any future deals she wants to make. Spotify executives called her unreliable, as did Harry and the two liars. The actress can't let Netflix do the same. This led to the quick visit to the Invictus Games. Greg Peters, the joint CEO of Netflix, is rumored to have called an emergency meeting just days ago, demanding to know why Markle, who was originally named on the official guest list, had now been hastily deleted. Netflix was more than embarrassed when Spotify pulled the plug on the grifting duo. They didn't want their own reputation to take a hit by being seen as a company that signed up those who were ditched by others. But the damage was done. Netflix knew this early on, as it was told repeatedly that the big picture in the room was a matter of two invisible children who had never met any members of the royal family. Of course Netflix has to ask them why. Today, to keep the Netflix party going in Germany, Meghan Markle gushed to the cameras about the story of her invisible child. Well, Meghan plays mom and stays home to take care of the kids, that's it. I mean, now I wonder who cares about these kids because their parents are on another continent or something? I think Meghan thinks the 2-year-old should be in school by now, and Harry thinks his 2 children are under 3. He can't even explain it. So we have to ask the question again, where are the children? Or is it the biggest scam ever? Now it's not just Meghan, there are people who help her. The people who spoke with Meghan and Harry, or stayed silent even though they knew the truth, are all guilty. However, I would not include the royal family in this category. I guess they are caught off guard. I think they are also victims of it all. Perhaps they were deceived like others. And maybe those who knew were bought off with hush money, or maybe they were scared of the threat of a lawsuit. We haven't heard anything from the former employees, but they may have to sign some sort of non-disclosure agreement if they want to continue working. But let me tell you, this whole situation sucks. There are a lot of things that don't add up. All this smoke and mirrors, all these delays, all these made-up excuses. One day this story will come to light and the damage done will be incredible. And if Meghan has to drop out of school, how come she never bothers to do it? I mean, they could have easily destroyed the kids or just found Meghan in the car coming to or from school. But we haven't seen anything yet. And news sources who released the photo of Meghan driving say it's the first time she's been seen driving since 2020. So she's definitely not one to take charge of school kids. And apparently Montecito is literally without the papal belt. Even TMZ said that they and other entertainment outlets like ET and Access Hollywood don't send photographers there because there's a tacit agreement not to project the rich people who live there. And I didn't see Ellen or Oprah there. When this happens, they are always somewhere else. It just started after Meghan moved in and it's just Batgrid licking her. She craves attention, so she will make sure she is noticed, especially if her husband or members of the royal family get positive media attention. He is a narcissistic sociopath. The woman is crazy. She will do anything to keep her name out of the limelight, because in Meghan's opinion, any publicity is better than none. Like I said yesterday, Harry looks pathetic when Meghan is around. You also talked to us a lot in the comments on the video about how, poor Harry, he couldn't smile naturally when Meghan came in. Chapter I would like to share some of your views. I see that most of you agree that Meghan Markle should not be speaking there at all. Aquarius says, the Invincible Games deserve different representation. It turned into the Harry and Meghan show. These brave veterans deserve more. They destroyed what it was supposed to symbolize. How disgusting. You know, we agree with you, but, unfortunately, it does not concern Meghan and Harry. And then Missy says, handing the mic to Skid Markle is like handing it to a serial killer. Oh ma'am, I want you to explain more. It's funny and so true. Meghan Markle is the last person to offer a microphone. He doesn't know how to use it. Next, Sarah Garnett says she won't stop sharing until she takes responsibility, and she won't. He is a very selfish person who trampled on his mother's grave and disrespected his grandparents. He has no children. If you have children and love them, something changes in you. How many times can so-called parents of young children walk away from them and abandon them? Some parents bring their nannies with them. That's a very good point, Sarah. If they really had children, we would see these children. They took these children with them. When you're a parent of young children, you never want to be away from them. You are always worried about them. We don't see that with Meghan and Harry. Which leads me to believe they don't. I also like the Chilly Bird review. I don't think Harry understands the reality of everyday life. Knowing who he married, he should leave her instead of worrying about how good we look in public. Harry must leave. This is real. Harry needs to stop worrying about appearance. He needs to stop worrying about what people will say to him if he leaves Meghan for good. He needs to really think carefully about what his life is like now and what it was like before he came into her life. And if he says that it is better with him, then that is good. But I don't think that will happen. Kate London also made a comment that I really agree with. Harry, just give up. Call your father and apologize. He'll probably get you on the first plane out of there and then you can go to Botswana recovery. Seriously. I'm serious. It's time to stop this farce. I know Harry will feel humiliated admitting he was wrong, but seriously he needs to save himself before it's too late. Susan Roberts says, the problem is that both Harry and Meghan Markle are narcissists. They both want to be the most important person in the room. Both want their voices to be heard, even if it means moving away from each other. Meghan Markle will constantly push Harry away because she knows she can get away with it and Harry won't put up much resistance. Some people think Harry is an empath. He doesn't do that. His words and actions about his grandparents tell us otherwise. He is cruel to both people and animals. No sign of sympathy. He also uses people to his advantage. There is no sympathetic behavior here either. Narcissists, both. You're probably right, Susan. I still hope that maybe deep down Harry is a very good person, just because I know he comes from such a good family. But maybe you're right, they were all just sick. They are narcissists. They cannot be repaired. May Mitty had some very harsh words to say about Meghan, and I couldn't agree more. Then Mai said, this evil and sick frog behaves like all narcissistic perverts. They isolate their victims from friends and family and play spells on them. Chapter isn't she half Caribbean? Make him obey like a dog, with his tail hanging between his legs. I mean, it is. This is what we are witnessing. It's really like she's cast a spell on him somehow. I mean, maybe not her. Maybe he really was. Anyway, he completely cut him off from everything he knew. And at this point, it's literally impossible for Harry to go back to the life he had before. Meghan Markle is a sick and twisted person. Well, now back to the news. I recently heard that Archie official has actually banned all schools in their area. Apparently, the information on this child's birth certificate is not real, not even correct, and that's why he couldn't go to school anyway. The mother of the other students did not come out and said that they were going to her school. It will be very interesting to see how Meghan gets out of this situation. What, is she going to claim that invisible children are kidnapped and never seen again? Or are they trying to make up a really scary story about him crashing on the plane on the way to Britain? Or will he finally come out and admit the truth? I doubt the latter will happen. Or what? Will there be an announcement from Meghan's PR people to the public in the US? Is it not allowed to photograph children? Whatever. I mean, who wants to take pictures of a bunch of dolls? I mean, is it true that they use surrogate mothers or dolls and renegades? Who cares? We know that the news about living with their children is 100% false. I mean, excuse the kids and stay late, Meghan, come on, how can anyone believe? Even if Meghan has children, she won't pay for school. She claimed she had to bring them milkshakes to entertain them shortly before school ended. The whole story makes no sense. And, let's look at how long it took Meghan to fly from the United States to Germany. When should she leave? She's here to advertise. She's here for Netflix. She was there to soothe his ego. She doesn't care about games. Why do athletes need Meghan to share her pointless speech? If she wants to talk about these children and use them as an excuse, she must prove that they are real. My dears, I know some of you are listening to this. So why don't you just do it for her? If you're so sure these kids are real and living with them, why don't you prove it? Why don't you share photos? I'm not talking about those weird photoshopped, pixelated images. What I say is true. Oh, what is this? Can't you find them? Well, I'm sure you do, because they don't exist. I mean, Meghan and Harry can't even agree on kids. They forget how old they are. The timeline makes no sense. And maybe that's why they don't have real friends. I mean, acting like a caring parent, anyway, as everyone believes. Meghan Markle doesn't even know how to take care of her family, especially her father. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. To be fair, she also cares about how many zeros are in her bank account and how many likes she gets on social media. But caring for another person? Absolutely not. Meghan Markle has told many lies to convince us that her invisible children are real. I mean, it's disrespectful to lie like that in front of the families of really wounded veterans. Shame on him, both. And I think that might explain Meghan's late arrival to the party. Netflix forces court appearance and issues ultimatum. This is the explanation. Meghan looked like she was attending a funeral, not a party. She does not know. What do you think of these points in my video? Please continue discussing the couple's children with us in the comments below. Feel free to like and share my videos if you find them interesting. Please also support us further by subscribing to the Princess Diana News channel. Thank you so much for watching, and bye. We'll see you again tonight.